and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, that addresses all your stock-related queries. Now, on this show, we will be getting top market experts to answer all your stock-specific questions. So, how do you send us your questions to us? Well, you can see the WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screens. Send in all your questions about the stocks in your portfolio or the stocks that are coming afresh onto your radar as well, or on the overall markets, and we'll help you with the top market experts guides as well. Now, remember, when you send us your questions, don't forget to mention your name and your contact details along with your location as well. We want you to also get an opportunity to speak to our top market experts, get a custom-made advice right there. In case you're watching us live on our YouTube channel, well, there's the comment section, and you can send in all your questions on the comment section as well. Let's already see a whole host of questions that are coming in. So let me welcome all our viewers first. Sandeep Acharya, Ankur Modi, Kamlesh Narkhere, Anuj Singh, Mohit Yadav, they're already lining up with their questions. So warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for coming in on the show and already starting to write in all the questions right there. Let's quickly look at the markets first before we get on to our guest on the show right there. Well, of course, it's bleeding blue, bleeding red right now in the markets, 154 points lower in trade. Let's also look at the Nifty, which is absolutely down with about 0.6% trade, 23,663 being seen at this point in time. Barring the IT, private banks and the real estate sector, we have all the sectors that are down in the red. 2.7% lower for the PSU banks. They've lost a lot of ground. 1.8% lower for the media stocks. Metals that are down 1.5%. And across the board, you see losses coming in across the sectors. But the one group which we've been tracking right from the morning trade, for all you viewers, is the Adani Group. All the stocks are down in the red, with many hitting lower circuits of 10 and 20%. This is after the US SEC has talked about charges of $265 million of bribery against Gautam Adani and 7 other officials to Indian officials to obtain contracts of certain solar energy power projects as well. And that has led to a sharp fall in the entire Adani Group stocks right there. So we will be definitely discussing with our top guests as to what should be the strategy in this current market and the Adani Group, and of course be taking all your questions. We already have our guest with us. Akshay Bhagwat is with us on this show. Warm welcome to you, Akshay, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Always a pleasure to speak to you, Akshay, but you know, of course, you've been reading up and assessing the market scenario right from the morning trade. The one question that most of the viewers have at this point in time is, for those who've been holding on to Adani Group stocks, what should one do after this scenario? And especially, this is not just the first time. We have seen Hindenburg 1, we have seen Hindenburg 2, and now this is the third time when impediments are coming across US for Adani Group right there. How are you assessing the situation? I'm sure your phones must not be stopping to ring for all those clients who have the position in Adani Group. What would you say to them?
First of all, good afternoon, Sakshi. Yes, so this is the second time the Adani Group stocks are receiving the jolt in the market because you know, most of them have fallen over 20%, and some serious allegations have been levied on the group. And really, you know, at least one thing just clears out that this stock is not for the faint-hearted short-term traders, because it is a news-driven counter. Now, the news, how far it will affect this stock from a fundamental perspective, how long this will continue, this is a question mark as yet, because it's just that it's day one that people are just trying to figure out exactly how this is going to affect the prospects of the company. But one thing is clear, that this is not taken well by the short-term traders in the market, looking at the price action and at least looking at some of the counters in the futures and option space, that is Adani Ports and Adani Enterprises. There is still more room on the downside, looking at the current downside, because majority of the supports have been broken in these counters. So the advice is that if you have an exposure in the future segment, or you plan to take a position in the future segment, refrain from doing so. Down. If you are an investor, yes, you need to be invested from a longer term perspective, because in the past instance also there significant recovery. It will take a lot of time, but in case of the current scenario, wait for the dust to settle before putting fresh funds in the stock. And as of now, I say that there is still more room on the downside if one is looking from a short-term perspective.
Okay, so on Adani stocks, we have our first question that's come in from Momita from Kolkata. She says, I have about 1 lakh rupees Adani Green and Adani Power, and the stocks are sharply impacted in today's news. What should my, position? What should I be doing at this point in time? Your own sense, what is the best way of protecting one's capital in this time? Akshay, in these two stocks, Adani Green and Adani Power. Adani Green is right in the midst of the controversy right there.
Yes, so clearly it's a gap down. And even if you look at the recovery in Adani Group in the prior instance, that was 1.5, 2 years back. Yes, so clearly it's a gap down. And even if you look at the recovery in Adani Group in the prior instance, that was 1.5, 2 years back, see a strong reversal, a V-shaped recovery, but unfortunately, Adani Green nor Power did see that kind of a recovery. So, in case of an investment perspective, also, yes, we are down almost over 16, 17%. And looking at the broader price structure, at least it gives me more comfort in saying that it is better to take an exit because recovery is going to take time. It's not going to be so fast because the allegations are serious. And even this stock does not have a historical evidence of strong recoveries in the past. So my sense is that it is better to take an exit in both the counters.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next question. This is from our YouTube viewer. He asks on Nalco, Akshay. He has been holding the stock at 150 levels. Now he wants to know, should he book profit or continue to hold on to Nalco? It's been a good performer in the recent run up in the metal space as well, with the expectation that supplies in case of aluminium are going to be shortened, which might benefit the domestic producers like Nalco. Your sense here?
Yes, absolutely. You're right that Nalco has been one of the most resilient stocks in the recent downside, which we have seen as well as Nifty. So Nalco is, you can say, is trading at its life highs as we see right now, and there is strong volumes and delivery-based buying as I look at the counter in the past few trading sessions. That just gives me more confidence that the stock is probably heading for upside still 275, 280 from a short-term perspective. So if one is holding this stock, would suggest keep a revised stop loss now at 232. Hold for targets of around 280 from a short to medium term perspective.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next question then. Ankur Modi says, hello Sakshi, good afternoon. What is happening to the markets? Whenever it tries to recover, some or the other bad news hits it badly. So what should be one strategy in these volatile times? Well, rightly said, Ankur, on that front. There is some or the other impediment in the markets. And of course, markets have been reeling under a long time frame correction in the last 5 weeks that we have been seeing. What exactly would you advise, Akshay, as a strategy to investors who are not only looking at macro concerns that are taking place, geopolitical concerns that are taking place at this point in time? Earnings were not good. Whenever inflation picture is also worsening, and now these new developments coming in on the Adani Group, which is a big conglomerate and a big part of the Indian stock markets again. So there are several one after the other negatives that are coming in which are impacting the markets. What exactly should be one strategy?
See, if one is more keen on the short to medium term outlook, then probably my sense is that we are somewhere near the last leg of this downfall. Now, whether this downfall terminates exactly at 23,300 where we trade, or it goes to 23,000 is the question mark. But broadly, from plus minus 300 odd points from where we trade, there is a chance of a recovery rally in the market, which can at the best, as of now, target around 23,800 to 24,000. So for this 500 to 700 point rally, there will be a lot of trading opportunities because considering the broader market breadth, even a small recovery at this time will easily give you 4 to 5% return in a very short term time frame. So if you're keen on this kind of trading, then there are a lot of stocks which I can highlight. Majorly, they should be from the private banking space, Axis Bank or ICICI Bank. These have very strong price structure. Swiggy and Zomato from the mid cap space, these two also have been very resilient. And Nalco is one more stock which we just discussed about. So these are strong names in the market which you can consider on buying. From an investment perspective, yes, whether this is not right time to invest in the market from a longer term, I would say go for a staggered approach, because whether this is the bottom for the coming 3 months or no, that's a question mark. My sense is a reversal is there, but it's too early to call it a bottom. So I would say invest around 25 to 30% of your amount at the current juncture, not the full amount, because there are no clear indications that a long-term bottom is in place as yet.
Okay. Let's also take some other questions that are coming in. In fact, there are a lot of questions that are coming in on Adani Group. So, Akshay, I hope you'll be able to address all these distressed investors' queries that are coming in. And we understand that this was to happen today with a sharp fall being seen out of the blue. This report has come in and, stocks are bleeding blue. Suman from Gandhinagar has written in on our WhatsApp. She says, I have 500 shares. Adani Enterprises. I bought this stock at 1689. What should I do? Should I wait or should I exit immediately? Your sense on Adani Enterprises? This is broken third straight lower circuit in trade today. It's recovered partially, but still hovering around 19.9% lower at 2257. Your sense?
Yes, Adani Group stocks, they have been a backbone breaker, you can say, because majority of the investors are taking a hit on the chin the way the stocks have reacted today. And if one is really, looking forward to whether I should take an exit or wait from this moment or add further, really none of the charts would give you comfort of adding further. Many of the charts would suggest that you need to keep either or straight away take an term view on Adani Group, because the dust is not going to settle so soon. The charges levied are of serious nature, and even the price charts are saying that majority of strong support zones which the stock had been holding on since long have been broken. Now, for case of Adani Enterprise, today's gap down has just broken the 3 to 4 month support zone of 2600. So that puts the stock on a very weak footing. There is a minor support at the levels of 2110, from where we did see a slight recovery today, but the broader price structure makes me believe that there is a good chance the stock may head for lower levels till 1600 to 1700 in the short to medium term. So better is take an exit. If you're not keen on taking an exit, then keep at least a revised stop loss of 2000. Any small recovery rallies near 2400, 2450 should be looked as an exit opportunity.
Should be looked at as an exit opportunity. Ratan from Delhi says, I have invested 5 lakh rupees in Adani Group last year after the steep fall. I bought shares at very reasonable prices at that time. So is this current sharp fall an opportunity to buy more Adani stocks at these prices, or should I wait with my current position? So I'm given to understand that Ratan is sitting on profits because he's actually bought them at the prices when the stocks were sharply lower after the Hindenburg research report had come in. Most of the stocks had actually slipped 50, 60, even 70 and 80% from their all-time high levels at well. So in case investors had actually that time invested in these stocks, they must be sitting on substantial profits, because most of these losses were also recovered in the interim. Your own sense, what should one ideally do here?
See, the thought is that still there is no clarity that a downside support is in place. So I would rather wait for the dust to settle down, because volatility will be very high in the next few trading sessions. There will be recoveries maybe of 3-4%, which might get traders or investors excited of missing out on the probable bottoms or dips. But really, no one can call this a bottom, because you are trading volatility, you are trading a very strong news. Yes, for intraday traders, there will be opportunities to buy and sell, but clearly, it's more of a jobbing trades, and there is no clarity on the charts as yet that this would be a screaming buy at the current rates.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next question then. We are getting a slew of questions on the Adani Group, and rest assured, viewers, we are going to be taking Akshay's help in helping you out with the right strategies. Akriti from Mumbai says, what should be the strategy for Adani Group stocks after these new allegations? Which stocks will be most impacted? And could you suggest if there is any stock here which could be seen as a buying opportunity amidst the fall right there? So Akriti, three questions put in one. One, of course, on the overall Adani Group stocks as a strategy that Akshay has repeatedly talked about in the show for various investors. Let's ask you, Akshay, for addressing the last two questions of Akriti, the stocks that you believe which will be most vulnerable to these fresh allegations, and the ones where you still feel that there could be some more opportunity.
Well, see, energy will be a problem space because clearly the allegations are on the energy space the Adani Group operates into, and the stock reaction itself just validates this fact. Now, if you're searching for pockets in the Adani Group which might show signs of recovery or maybe kind of just see a slowdown in the fall where you can look for buying opportunities, that would only be Adani Ports, as I understand, because historically, when last scenario 2 years back, when we had recovery, we saw Adani ports making life highs. So there is inherent strength in this counter, and the allegations today are on the power sector. So really, the stock, as we see right now, it has rebound shown some kind of. So really, the stock, as we see right now, it has rebound shown some kind of a resilience. What of 1,000 is valid just for the day or for the coming days, that time will tell. But somewhere the levels of 950 to 1,000 would be a short-term trading support for Adani Ports. If you are very keen on participating in Adani Group on the buy side in this downfall, then technically only Adani Ports as of now looks a bit sound. It's a high risk counter. Again, I would suggest let the dust settle down. But really, for the diehard traders who want to look at this as an opportunity to buy Adani Ports with a stop loss of 900 would be the preferred stock to take a punt on for a recovery till 1100 to 1150.
Okay, we have a caller called Sai from Hyderabad. Let's go across. Hi Sai, good afternoon. What's your question?
Sakshi, actually, I hold Adani Enterprises and Adani Ports. Actually, I taken this just 2 months ago at the price of 3,000 Enterprises and Ports at 1,200 rupees.
All right.
Almost,
And you have
yeah,
you have
almost
a
all
long term
I
view, or did you only
yes,
take it
yes,
for
yes.
a short term trading? Okay.
No, actually, it's for long time. I have invested 10 lakhs in the ports companies, 5 lakhs in Enterprises, and 5 lakhs in ports.
Okay, got that. So at risk, huge sums of money, 5 lakhs in Adani Enterprises and 5 lakhs in Adani Ports, bought at 3,000 for Adani Enterprises and 1,200 for Adani Ports. What would you suggest to Sai, our viewer right there? What should be the strategy?
So, as I mentioned in my prior conversations, Adani Ports can only be the ray of hope if one has a position in the Adani Group. So, yes, it's already down 20%, 15% plus, and really exiting this counter, which has a strong tendency of a rebound, would not be the right suggestion. So, continue to hold. If you need a stop loss, it's going to be 950. Adani Enterprise is a clear exit for me as of now because technically the structure is disturbed. There is a good probability the stock might visit or 1,600, and then it may take a lot of time really to recover because the last recovery came almost after a year. So even if you prefer to be an investor, why would you want to be locked in a stock which has serious allegations or claims, and really there is a question mark about how it will react going ahead in future. So might as well try to cover 50% of your quantity at the current rates, or book your loss if not full, and might as well shift on to other stocks where there is more scope for gain in this current household market condition.
Fair enough. I hope, Sai, this has given you clarity. There are some times when things are beyond our own thinking right now because of the developments that may keep your stock positions in risk at this point in time. So please take the advice that's been shared by Akshay, and also do speak to your own financial expert and then take a call on the positions that you have in the Adani Group. We have one more question that's coming in, and this is from Chennai. Bhanu writes in, is this sharp fall in Adani Group only for short term, and can I continue to hold my investments for the long term without worry? Another very good question right there, and relevant one as well. How long will this short term be? A short term is something that is very difficult to answer at this point in time, Akshay. How would you advise Bhanu on this one?
Really, it's a very difficult question because
Yeah.
short term is now take away most of your gains, which will taken away in the long term. That's how it is because if 3 days of such downfall continue, you can easily be down by over 10% more if there is no respite in terms of any clarity on this news. So, short or long doesn't matter, because how the stock reacts in the next 3 days, percentage wise, is what would matter. Right now, there are serious allegations, serious chart damage in terms of price structure. And really, the question mark here is, should I wait or exit? Because time is very crucial. You cannot afford waiting for 3-4 days more if you are going to take a 10% plus hit, because recovery process is going to be slow unless and until some clarification emerges. So, if it's a long-term call and you really are not bothered by today's fall, then, it's about just waiting and for some with a hope that some clarification emerges on this. But as I see right now, instead of going for that hope element, it's better to act practical. The data is really bad, negative, price structure has been deteriorated. Take an exit. It's painful, but it's better your remaining capital is protected. And whenever the stock shows strength, there is more clarity on the counters, get back into this.
Okay, got that. So that's the view that is coming in on these key Adani Group stocks. We'll also take a caller now with us. Avnish Kumar Muzaffarpur from Muzaffarpur has dialed in. Hi, Avnish. Good afternoon. Can you hear us? Avnish?
या मैम
पूछिए पूछिए
मैम मेरे पास नेक्स्ट नीवा बूपा का आईपीओ लॉट सब्सक्राइब हुआ था 1 लॉट जी और इरेडे का 280 पे 1500 शेयर है और पीसी ज्वेलर का 168 पे 1194 से है तो क्या किया जाए 5 महीने से वेट ही कर रहे हैं
Okay, got it. Actually, नीवा बूपा आईपीओ स्पेस से और न्यूली लिस्टेड स्पेस से अभी अक्षय आपको गाइड नहीं कर पाएंगे क्योंकि वो टेक्निकल्स को बहुत क्लोजली ट्रैक करते हैं, लेकिन मैं बाकी के दोनों स्टॉक्स उनसे आपके लिए पूछ लेती हूँ. पहला इरिडा, यहाँ पर 280 के भाव पर पोजीशन है, और दूसरा पीसी ज्वेलर जहाँ पर ऑलमोस्ट 168 के भाव पर एक खरीदारी की हुई है. इन दोनों शेयर्स पर आपका क्या व्यू है? इरिडा एक ऐसा स्टॉक जो कि रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी स्पेस में काफ़ी एक मूव दिखाता हुआ नज़र आया, और ख़ास तौर पर पीसी ज्वेलर्स ने एक आउट परफॉर्मेंस भी दिखाई है इस साल, लेकिन अब ये दोनों ही स्टॉक्स करेक्टिव मोड में हैं. क्या करें?
देखिए, इरिडा एक करेक्टिव मोड में है, और जस्ट इरिडा नहीं, बहुत सारे स्टॉक्स, मिड कैप, स्मॉल कैप, सबका यही हाल है. गए 1.5-2 महीने बहुत चैलेंजिंग रहे बाजार के लिए. और इरिडा का अगर आप लेवल बेस्ड ट्रेडिंग टेक्निकली करना चाहे तो कहीं ना कहीं एक सपोर्ट एरिया में देख रहा हूँ, जो 150-160 के आसपास एक लॉन्ग टर्म सपोर्ट बनेगा. फिलहाल वो सपोर्ट से करीबन 20-25 रुपए दूर है, तो थोड़ी सी रिस्क है कि और 20-25 रुपए गिर सकता है. बट आपका नजरिया लॉन्ग टर्म का है, तो मैं सलाह दूंगा कि आप बने रहिए स्टॉक में. एवरेज करने के लिए आप ओपन है, तो वो डिप पे आपको एवरेज करना है. बाकी लॉन्ग टर्म तो स्टोरी अलग है, टाइम लगेगा रिकवरी में, बट जो डिप है वो एक अच्छा एरिया रहेगा स्टॉक्स में लॉन्ग एडिशन करने के लिए. पीसी ज्वेलर्स, इसकी अगर आप बात करें तो पीसी ज्वेलर्स का भी प्राइस स्ट्रक्चर बहुत ही मजबूत है, बट बाजार कंडीशंस के साथ थोड़ा सा करेक्शन दिखा है. मेरा मानना है कि 130 के आसपास स्टॉक में थोड़ी सी तेजी वापस आपको मिल सकती है. अगर मार्केट कंडीशन सपोर्ट कर जाए तो वापस 180-90 पीसी ज्वेलर आपको दिखा सकता है. तो होल्ड कीजिए, बने रहिए. अभी भी कुछ लॉन्ग टर्म प्राइस डिटोरिएशन के संकेत नहीं दिख रहा है पीसी ज्वेलर्स में. ओवरऑल स्टॉप लॉस का अगर आप रख के काम करना चाहें तो 110 है. 130, 125 पे एवरेज करने के लिए ओपन रहिए. ओवरऑल 190-200 तक में टारगेट एरिया लॉन्ग टर्म में पीसी ज्वेलर्स में देख रहा हूँ.
ठीक है, तो उम्मीद करते हैं आपके दोनों सवालों का जवाब आपको मिल गया होगा. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास एक सवाल आया है हमारे एक दर्शक का, और ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं चंद्र सिंह का, और ये हुडको में पूछना चाह रहे हैं, प्लीज सजेस्ट एट व्हाट प्राइस शुड आई डू फ्रेश बाइंग इन द करंट मार्केट्स ऑन हुडको. अगेन PSU stock which has been performed well in the recent past when the entire PSU space was in an uptrend. Your own sense at 202, does it make a good investment bet?
Yes, it is almost near the support zone where we are trading right now. So somewhere around 180 is the point where you can expect some bit of recovery in Hudco. Yes, a few days back we did see some recovery around 185 till 230, and my it's too early to call a bottom, but somewhere around 180 plus minus 10 odd points, there is a good chance the stock will attempt to stage a comeback. So be invested in this stock. Long-term charts are still strong. Good volumes, buying volumes have been seen earlier in the range of 180, which is a very strong support. Keep a stop loss of 160 as a risk management. In case of recovery, you will see 250, 260 levels being revisited very soon.
Okay, got that. Let's take one more question. This is from Shaunak Vyas from Rajkot. He writes in to you, Akshay, and he says, निफ्टी की 23,500 का कॉल ऑप्शन लिया है आज की एक्सपायरी के लिए 37 पर. क्या सलाह देना चाहेंगे इनको?
देखिए आज निफ्टी होल्ड कर रहा है, पर बैंकिंग में कहीं ना कहीं तेजी है. एक्सपायर रिलेटेड ट्रेड जरूर लिया है, पर 23,500 150 पॉइंट दूर है. तो मे बी रिकवरी का व्यू रखता हूँ मार्केट में. करंट रेट से ट्रेडिंग रिकवरी है, पर आज के आज निफ्टी में आपको पैसा बन जाएगा, क्योंकि आपने एक प्रोडक्ट चुना है जो बहुत ही टाइम सेंसिटिव है, जो आज के आज खत्म हो रहा है, वो ऑप्शंस. तो एक्सपेक्टेशन है शायद बेस्ट केस में 400 450 तक आपको दिख सकता है, पर उस केस में भी प्रीमियम जीरो होने का रिस्क है. तो ये ट्रेड में आपको टाइम सेंसिटिव है, तो इसलिए मैं कहूंगा कि 130 से 2 आज 1:30 से 2 बजे तक बेस्ट प्राइस में आपको इसमें एग्जिट लेना है. 1:30 से 2 बजे तक अगर 400 450 के बीच में ये आता है, तो आपका आपका प्राइस करीबन 25% करंट प्रीमियम अप्रिशिएट हो जाएगा. उसके चलते आपको वहां पे प्रॉफिट बुक करना है. नहीं होता है, यहीं पे स्टिक होता है प्राइस, तो तुरंत आपको 2 बजे ये ट्रेड में एग्जिट ले लेते हैं.
ओके, गॉट दैट. तो चलिए उम्मीद करते हैं शौनक आपको भी अपनी राय मिल गई होगी यहाँ पर. एक आखिरी सवाल लेते हैं शोबे आपसे अक्षय. ये सवाल अविनाश का है और ये पूछ रहे हैं वारी एनर्जी स्टॉक के बारे में, जो कि अब लगातार गिर रहा है. एनी प्राइस लेवल्स फॉर परचेज और अवॉइड एट द टाइम बीइंग? अगेन अ वेरी रिसेंटली लिस्टेड स्टॉक विच यू वोंट हैव चार्ट्स ऑफ. एनी आइडिया ऑन वारी एनर्जी?
As you mentioned, the data points are very limited for me to form a long-term view, but my basic understanding is post-listing, if any stock goes down below the opening of the listing price, that's not a very good indication from a short to medium-term trading viewpoint. So I believe there might be some temporary weakness which might continue in the stock. So technically, there is at least stay away for the time being. Let the dust settle, let the prices settle, because there is no level which is clearly emerging for me where one should buy. Otherwise, from a fundamental perspective, you need to consult your advisor as to what's the proper valuation where the prices should be a good level to re-enter on Waaree Energy.
Okay, quickly squeezing in one more question before we let you go, Akshay, and this is from Ankur Modi. He says he's from Jaipur. He has Bikaji Foods 200 shares at 418. He wants to know, can he average at the current levels, and how much more downside do you see on the charts for Bikaji Foods?
700 is the support, so more downside, maybe 25-30 rupees from current level is possible. This is a profit booking spree which we have seen in majority of small and mid cap space. None of the stocks have been saved in this fall, so just a part and parcel of a short term cycle of the market. I believe 700 should be a good entry point for you in Bikaji Foods. Buy there from a longer term perspective. Right now there is no evidence of any major price deterioration. It should recover back, and if things support go well, again 850 900 should be in the making.
Okay, got that. Thank you so much, Akshay, for being with us on this show and helping all our viewers' queries on Adani Group stocks on such a difficult day, and also taking up other queries as well. Appreciate your presence with us always on Daily Calls. Thank you so much for taking out the time for us. Viewers, what we'll do is we'll now welcome another guest on board to answer all the rest of your queries. Mr. Kranti Batini is also now joining in. He's the Director of Equity Securities. Warm welcome to you, Mr. Batini, and thank you so much for taking the time out. You know, this is one day where all the queries which have been coming in so far on daily calls were all on Adani Group stocks right there. Let me quickly take in one question also with you on this sharp downward reaction that we've been seeing across the Adani Group stocks today following the US SEC allegations of bribery. How are you assessing the situation for Adani Group right now, the kind of downtick that we have seen across the board? 10 to 20% is what the stocks have already fallen. A market cap erosion of 2.65 lakh crore rupees for the Adani Group as a whole as well. But there is some recovery signs also happening, very, very mild though, of 1 or 2 odd percent from all-time lows that we have seen on an intraday level for some of them. Is there going to be more pain on the downside, or do you think this is enough with the kind of reaction that we have seen today?
Sakshi, seems to be some audio problem. I'm not able to listen to you.
Oh, okay. We'll try and fix that. In the meanwhile, we'll just again check
Yes,
the
Sakshi.
markets.
Now you are audible.
Okay, Mr. Patini, my question to you was on the Adani Group, which you have been assessing right from morning, the way these stocks have been battered black and blue today. Many of these stocks falling 10 to 20%, a market cap erosion of 2.5 lakh crore rupees as well. Your own sense, this is really unnerving a lot of investors who've been holding these stocks in their portfolio, while those who may be actually looking at this as an opportunity. For both of them, how would you address these concerns?
Sakshi, one thing first and foremost, let's understand the business models. These business models are infrastructure in nature, and these business models are comes up with a strong cash flows in the longer term. Of course, as per the group stocks are concerned, we always witness a roller coaster kind of ride in these stock prices, and very volatile and high beta in nature. And these kind of news flows do dampens the investor sentiment here and there. So first of all, prima facie, investors who are ready to take these kind of volatile moves, okay, and who have that high risk kind of appetite, okay, they can consider Adani Group shares. Of course, there are some strong businesses which are the strong fundamental businesses. But still, because of these kind of unexpected news flows, dampen the sentiment of the investors in the medium to short term. First of all, investors who are ready to take that much volatility, absorb the shocks, and who have the more high risk appetite and understand the high beta nature of these group shares, okay, they can look into these kind of companies. Investors who are risk averse and who don't like the volatility, these stocks are not suitable for them. So coming to the existing investors who are holding these shares, they can hold on, just wait for, these are the knee-jerk reactions. We need to wait for Adani Group statement about the charges framed by the US Federal Court. And one can hold on to the stocks, wait and watch, and how the development is going to take place. But for the new investors who have that high risk appetite and who like the volatility, for them, just wait how the things are going to take place in the next couple of days' time, because these are all like falling knives. We don't know exact the bottoms of these companies. So one need to wait and watch, closely observe the news flows that are coming.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next question. Now we have a whole host of questions waiting for your advice right there from our viewers, Mr. Batini. From Chennai, Kutub has written in, Pharma stocks, Natco Pharma and Dr. Reddy's. Both of these stocks he has in his portfolio. Given the current market conditions, is it a good time to consider these stocks or should I wait for further correction? Your own
concerned, the stock had a stellar rally. In fact, the stock was underperformer and it was on a long consolidation phase for more than 24 months. But last 1 year has been a dream rally for this stock. In fact, the stock has given a multifold return after forming a peak of 1600. The stock was consolidating at this point of time. Investor can consider the current price range of 1380. Okay, is the first entry level for this stock. Okay, he can buy some quantity at this point of time, as the markets are volatile at this point of time. He need not have to jump and buy at this point of time. He can slowly accumulate these stocks with a time frame of more than 1 year.
Okay, got it. Let's take the next question. This is from one of our viewers, Chandrahas, and he wants to know on Indian hotels. He bought this stock at 650 levels and he wants to buy more. So he's asking, should he enter at the current levels or should he wait for some more time? 795 is where it is trading at today, 5.5% higher, outperforming markets and also with huge volumes coming in on that front. Your sense here, sir?
Yeah, Sakshi, strong fundamentals. In fact, during COVID's time, from there onwards, the stock has given a multifold return. The stock is up by more than 6x. But
Yeah.
the beauty of this stock is, look at the chart and look at the movement of this stock. Okay, the way the stock has given a sustainable returns for the investors, given the kind of the high-end properties they have and their announcement increasing their properties in the next 5 years. There is a strong guidance for this stock. In fact, any dip in this stock is the warranted buy for the investors because of the increase of the travel and also the premium travel and the demand for the premium properties. And they do have mid-sized properties. That's what they have been increasing their presence in tier 2 cities. That gives the edge for Indian hotels. Any dip in Indian hotels, he can add. Probably Indian hotels, he can add in the range of around 750. If the price comes, there's a good entry level for the stock.
Okay. Next, we have Vinod Chaudhary writing in. He says, "Hi, ma'am. Thank you so much for doing this show for us retail investors." Thank you so much, Vinod ji, for writing in your appreciative words for us on Daily Calls. I hope our guests are able to guide you better on your investment journey in the markets. His question, Mr. Patini, today is as far as Axis Cade's engineering is concerned. Now, he wants to average this stock. He has the stock at 450 levels. He wants to know, are the fundamentals intact and can he continue to average this one?
Access gates are concerned. They are into digitalization with respect to the defense and aviation sector is concerned. The stock fundamentals are in line. The stock is in a consolidation phase. The recent quarter results also quite encouraging, even though the numbers looks to be flattish kind of thing. But the management commentary is quite strong for this stock. So you can average, you can buy some quantity at this point of time. Also for a medium to longer term perspective.
Right. Okay. We have a caller now with us. Kalpesh Patel from Mumbai is with us on the phone line. Kalpesh ji, नमस्कार. कैसे हैं आप?
नमस्कार मैम, आप कैसे हो मैम?
मैं ठीक हूँ. बताइए क्या जानना चाहते हैं आप?
मैम मैंने आज मेरा क्वेश्चन फंडामेंटली टेलीकॉम सेक्टर के ऊपर है, क्योंकि कॉलेज सुप्रीम कोर्ट का वर्डिक्ट आया था कि वो काफी बेनिफिशियरी है फॉर टेलीकॉम सेक्टर, है। और ऊपर से आज ये ट्राई का ये नंबर आया हुआ है कि 1 करोड़ उसका टेलीकॉम ऑपरेटर ये कंज्यूमर कम हो गया कस्टमर। तो इसका रीजन क्या, वो स्टारलिंक है, एलन मस्क कभी आने वाले, क्योंकि ट्रम्प का वो खास आदमी है तो वो आने वाले, वो स्टारलिंक से जोड़ा जा सकता है या फिर टेलीकॉम पे क्या आउटलुक है आपका?
ओके, ओवरऑल टेलीकॉम सेक्टर के ऊपर आपसे व्यू जानना चाहते हैं क्रांति जी, खास तौर पर लगातार जिस तरीके से सुप्रीम कोर्ट की व्यूज़ आए हैं टेलीकॉम सेक्टर को लेते हुए, भले ही वो एजीआर ड्यूज़ को लेते हुए हो, एक्सपेंशन को लेते हुए हो, अब टीआरएआई ने स्पैम कॉल्स को लेकर जिस तरीके से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, पूरे सेक्टर के ऊपर आपका क्या व्यू है? और अगर यहाँ पर कहीं निवेश करना हो तो किस स्टॉक पर आप निवेश करने की सलाह देंगे?
Sakshi, overall telecom, we are optimistic with respect to the prospects, and we are quite bullish in the medium to long term. But here we need to check the appetite of the investors. Okay, whether these stocks can be a multi-bagger kind of stocks from these levels, I definitely doubt. And what we witnessed is, look at the last 15-20 years, what happened in telecom sector. From a 28 operators, today we are at 2.5. Of course, Vodafone is in between. The strong commentary also, statements also came from Kumar Mangalam Birla with respect to infusion of capital and also their commitment towards Vodafone Idea is concerned. So right now there is a duopoly kind of situation at this point of time. Of course, the news always do comes with respect to the Starlink, their debut into Indian markets in a different perspective. So these are the lingering things hovering around this sector. But overall, one can keep Bharti Airtel, which have a strong fundamentals and also strong cash flow on their radar. And there are some, apart from these telecom, within the sector itself, which are into the 5G, 6G technologies are concerned. So that's where the telecom area is playing, looks interesting at this point of time than the operators who are in this sector.
Okay. Surya writes in and he says, hello Sakshi ma'am and hello Kranti sir. Can you please suggest if Bajaj Housing Finance is a stock that can be bought right now? Well, came out with an IPO, a much anticipated one, a first time in 30 years kind of an IPO from the Bajaj group right there. Your own sense right now, how would you see it after a month of getting listed?
Post listing, what we witnessed a stellar rally, and the stock is in a consolidation phase right now. With respect to the IPOs are concerned, the stock had a, decent earning profile in the last quarter. So, if the investor have a high risk appetite, because these majority of these IPOs tend to be spend their time in a long consolidation phase post listing. So that's what we are witnessing with respect to Bajaj Housing. Most probably, if the stock get corrects to the range of 110 range, okay, it's a good level to enter. Of course, it is currently at 156 levels, 126 levels at this point of time, which is a low for the stock at this point of time. So he can keep this as a first price point to make an entry. Any dip, he can accumulate the stock for a medium to long term perspective, given the kind of pedigree and also the margins they enjoy in this business.
Sure. We'll take one question other than this as well. So Abhishek Kumar writes in, he says, I have 50 shares of Reliance Industries at 1340 levels. Is there going to be more pain in this counter going forward from here? Well, rightly asked, Abhishek. And Mr. Patini, you've also seen how Reliance Industries, despite all the bonus issue, the price which has become optically more attractive, has actually given zero returns in 2024. Now, how have you assessed Reliance Industries' recent performance vis-a-vis what could be in the offing now for this one?
Reliance Industries is concerned, Sakshi. It's not a stock to just look at a 1 week or 1 month kind of perspective. Look at the
Sure.
kind of wealth creation the stock has done in a decadal perspective. You need to have at least 3 to 5 years of horizon to take any serious calls with respect to Reliance Industries is concerned. Until unless, because of the gestation periods they are getting into the stocks and also the business model, the new age businesses they are entering, and also the green hydrogen business and gigafactories. So these capacity expansions and all erections and all, they comes up with this long gestation periods at this point of time. So for a longer term perspective, definitely it's a stock to consider to add stability to the portfolio. Of course, I completely agree with you. The stock has been an underperformer in the recent past, but it's not the stock to ignore.
Okay, we'll take one more question. This is from Abhishek Jha. He says, on Swan Energy, could you please suggest a near-term or a medium-term view? He's bought the stock at 537. Swan Energy right now is trading at 533, so slightly lower than his buying price. 1% downtick amid choppiness that can be seen.
Yeah, Swan Energy is concerned, they have a complete diversified business model. They have the textile, real estate, and the energy business is concerned. It's a completely diversified business model. So recently they have done a QIP also. Strong, big names have participated in this QIP. So in a medium to short term, he can consider the target of around 650 to 700. That is the range, the target he can expect. It is a stock to hold for a more than horizon kind of prospect also. He can hold on.
Okay, got that. So that's the view that's coming in. There's another question that is coming from one of our viewers. This is on Biocon. Rupesh, could be the view here on Biocon, sir?
Uh, in a medium to shorter term, Sakshi, we are quite positive about the stock because the stock has, given the kind of business models, the stock, it tend to be in a very long consolidation phases sometimes. But we are waiting for some kind of corporate announcements that do come for Biocon. But we are quite positive with respect to the at this point of time. But a multi-bagger kind of profile kind of a stock. Okay, if the investor appetite need to be moderate when taking positions in this stock, but considerable downside is capped. These stocks comes up with a good amount of margin of safety. He can try to add this stock with a 10 to 15% upside from these levels also.
Okay. 10 to 15% upside can be seen from these levels also. Kamlesh Narkheri writes in, he says, hi Sakshi, could you please help me understand between JSW Energy and Torrent Power, where should I be buying in the current levels for long term? From the energy and the power space, Torrent Power or JSW Energy? So what do you find better?
Yeah, very interesting question. With respect to the pedigree is concerned, okay, one can keep JSW Energy on the radar. Okay, Torrent is little bit high beta when compared to JSW. If he's want to be with the strong pedigree and the strong business conglomerate, he can try to be with JSW Energy.
Okay, got it. One more question that is come in. In fact, we have a caller with us, Kalpesh Kacharia from Surat. Hi, Kalpesh. Good afternoon.
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम मैम निफ्टी का करंट पीओ की पी रेशियो कितना है और इफ निफ्टी का पी रेशियो अराउंड 18 या 19 अगर डाउन साइड और आ जाता है तो उस टाइम पे निफ्टी का लेवल कितना पॉसिबल हो सकता है?
ओके, निफ्टी के अभी वैल्यूएशंस को देखते हुए सवाल कर रहे हैं मिस्टर बतेनी, अभी आपको क्या लगता है करंट पी के हिसाब से क्या पॉइंट आउट हो रहा है? क्या और डाउन साइड अभी देखने को मिल सकती है या फिर अभी कंफर्टेबल वैल्यूएशंस पर निफ्टी है?
Sakshi, with respect to the PE levels are concerned, okay, it's all about the sentiment of the market that drives these kind of levels. But right now, Nifty at 200-day moving average, whenever in the past 7-8 instances, whenever markets came to 200-day DMA, we have witnessed a shift rally from those levels. But today, unfortunately, the news of Adani and the other geopolitical issues creating pressure on the markets at this point of time unexpectedly. That is the reason markets are in a downtrend at this point of time. But this is a pivotal point for the market. So you need to closely observe. Of course, markets are fairly valued if we have a more than 1 year kind of a horizon. Definitely, Indian markets looks compelling at this point of time.
ओके, गॉट इट। चलिए, एक हमारे पास सवाल आया है शाम का आंध्र प्रदेश से, और एक ये आखिरी सवाल ले लेते हैं। वैस्कॉन इंजीनियरिंग या रतन इंडिया एंटरप्राइजेज, इसके फंडामेंटल्स आपसे जानना चाह रहे हैं लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए। हाउ आर यू असेसिंग दीज टू कंपनीज, वैस्कॉन इंजीनियरिंग एंड रतन इंडिया एंटरप्राइजेज? आर दीज गुड कंपनीज फंडामेंटली टू बी ट्रैक्ड बाय रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स?
Sakshi, those who have a high risk appetite, because these are
Yeah.
all market caps are Ratan India also, okay, the balance sheets are yet to settle down, okay,
Yeah.
and the market capitalization of these companies are less than 2,000 crores. So until unless the investor have a high risk appetite, one should not venture into these kind of names at this point of time. And market structure has changed at this point of time. Markets are not in a mood to expect a immediate rally in this kind of profiles at this point of time. So you need to understand until unless he understands the fundamentals, and because the fundamentals keeps on changes over a period of time as per the market sentiment and also the change in the economy is concerned. So until unless investor have a high risk appetite, he should not consider these kind of names.
Correct. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Batini, for being with us on this show to guide all the viewers who have been coming in with several questions for all of you in this difficult setup in the market. Always appreciate your presence and your calm voice right there that reassures all the investors even in these tough times. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Sakshi. Always my pleasure.
All right, viewers, we will wrap it up at that. 180 points now lower in trade on the Nifty. It's a 23,340 level right now, with 0.5% losses also coming in on the Nifty Bank. It's been volatile and choppy right from the morning trade. 2.5 hours remaining for the markets to shut shop. We'll see whether we see any signs of a recovery, or will there be another down day that we see right ahead of the expiry too. Many thanks for being with us on the show. Do tuned on to Business Today. There's a lot more that will be up on your screens right up next.
Air alert sirens were heard through the day on Wednesday in Kyiv and other cities in Ukraine, hours after Ukraine fired 6 US-made Army tactical missile systems into Russia on late Tuesday.